Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ailey if you're new. Today's video is going to be a eyeshadow palette collection. There's quite a lot of eyeshadows here. So a couple of people have suggested this to me in the past, and I just thought that why not? I've got time and it gives me a chance to take it all out of my drawers and tidy it up a little bit. So this isn't going to be in any particular order. I'm going to speed through it. I don't want this video to be forever. I'm going to give you my opinions on the palettes, whether or not I use them and stuff like that pretty much. I hope that it's entertaining. If it is and you enjoy it and you want to see more videos like this, then give this video a thumbs up for me, subscribe to my channel, all that jazz. Make sure notifications are on because apparently that's important. But yeah, let's just get right into it. So the first one I have is this little Zoeva palette. This is the On Taupe palette and it looks like this, and it's just a really nice neutral palette. I don't really reach for it. I really like this shade, but that's about it. The next one I have is sort of like an eyeshadow and a face palette, and it is this one here. It is the Revolution X Rachel Leary, and that is it there. I really like the face side of this, and I've only really ever used the eyeshadow side a couple of times. I bought it to review and it's kind of sat at the back of the drawer, to be honest. I kind of forgot I had it. The next one I have is just a Z palette, and it has face palettes in it as well, or face pans in it as well. These are all Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I reach for these kind of when I just want to do a neutral look. Sometimes I'll reach for these. There's a couple of more sort of vibrant colors in here, whereas I have all of my neutrals over here. These are just perfect for sort of everyday anything you want to throw on. So if I'm going anywhere, generally I'll take this with me. Next I have the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palettes. It's one of the first sort of more expensive eyeshadow palettes I ever bought, and I absolutely love this. I haven't used it in ages because when I started to hit pan, I started to get scared and I didn't really want to finish it. So I do absolutely love this palette. If you like the colours in it, I would say it's definitely worth your money. The next one I have is another Anastasia one. This is the Norvina collection, and this is the volume 3. This is what it looks like. Why am I covered in stuff? That is what it looks like there. Really vibrant, really sort of orangey greens, really orangey browns and stuff like that. I do really like this palette. I don't like the range of shades it has in it. I like the shades. I don't like how it's laid out, so I don't reach for it an awful lot. But if I want like a pop of bright orange, green or anything like that, I always dip into this because it's got the best sort of bright colours. And I have the Norvina volume 2 as well. The volume 1 was purple, so I knew it wasn't going to be for me. This one I've used a few times for blue looks and I really like it. Green as well in there. This is more sort of cool tone. Yeah, I do like this one. I've used it a couple of times. This one's a lot easier to use because there's a wee bit more range of the individual colours in it. So there's a few blues, so you can do a sort of gradient blue look and things like that. It's not just like kind of random colours. Okay, moving on, we have the Urban Decay Naked 2. I've had this for an eternity. It's an alright palette and I wasn't really blown away by it. I don't really reach for it anymore, but it's kind of one of the first palettes. I think it may be the first eyeshadow palette I ever bought. And I have the Naked 3. I like this one for a few shades in it, but like with the Modern Renaissance, I kind of got frightened when I haven't used this in years, but I got a little bit like, I don't want to use it all, and stopped using it. So, and there's always going to be ones in here that I never finish, so I don't know. After trying other shadows, I'm not a massive fan of Urban Decay shadows. I haven't tried their newer stuff, so maybe I have to do that. This is the Revolution Jewel collection in Gilded, and you can see I've used this quite a lot. It's really good for highlighters, and these shades are really nice. Like you can see there's quite a lot. Don't mind the fact that my hands are black, but see just how kind of reflective those ones are. The other ones I'm not a massive fan on, but that top row is just absolutely beautiful. Then we have Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie. This actually lives in my kit, and this is, like, I've used it a couple of times, but this is my bridal palette. I love this palette. Everybody that I do makeup on loves the colours in this palette, and I just can't really fault it. So I used it a few times. I do love it, but I have kind of other dupes, not identical, but I have other ones that look like this. So I sanitized it and it went in my kit, and I've literally used it for almost everybody. like in one way, either like the ones down here or the ones up here. I use it on quite a lot of people, so that this is a really nice palette. I really like the pressed sort of glitters and stuff like that in it as well. Then I have the Shan XO BH Cosmetics collaboration palette, which has eyeshadows up here and lip products down here, but I do like this side as well, though I wish it had more mattes in it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, on to Jeffree Star. We have Mini Controversy. He's so cute. I love this palette. I really need to crack it out some more and do some more looks with it, but it's very limited to what you can do. I need to spend a little time and do something creative with it, but I absolutely adore this little palette. Speaking of which, we have a big boy over here, Conspiracy, and in case you haven't seen it and you've been living under a rock, that is what it looks like. It's not the easiest colour scheme to make looks out of, I will say that. I do really like it. The quality of these eyeshadows are just second to none. They really are absolutely stunning. They did a fantastic job on it, and it lives here because I love it so much. It just pride of place. Then we have Blue Blood. I absolutely love this palette. I love blues. I mean, come on. What else can I say? It's just absolutely beautiful. If you haven't seen it, there it is. Every kind of blue that you could need, you can add blues to it, but there is sort of something there for everybody. You can make an array of different blue looks, and I had like a little blue obsession for a little while, and that just fueled it so nicely. Next we have the OG Blood Sugar. I was going to get Royal Blood, but I do not have the cash for that right now. Okay, so here is Blood Sugar, and I forgot how beautiful this eyeshadow palette was. I may need to get it out again. It's just, it is gorgeous. It is quite limited colour wise, everything is quite similar, but it's really, you know, it kind of breaks you in gently. There's not too much kind of in your face stuff. Then we have Thirsty, and Thirsty is probably my least favourite colour wise. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love these shades. I don't care for these at all. I don't know, they just don't work for me, and I do like the ones at the top, but I don't know, I find them very samey. So I love this bottom row, but obviously for the whole palette, I'm like, is it worth it for the whole palette? I'm pretty sure, is it discontinued as well? I'm not sure. Then we have Jawbreaker. I think this was my least favourite, but I think it's redeemed itself a couple of times since. It was literally just because of this blue. This blue looks absolutely gorgeous in the pan, but it went really patchy on my eye. I'm gonna have to try it again, but I mean, I love that blue. It's what I see when I look at this palette. So I do like the colours in here. Again, it's kind of like a mix of pastels and sort of kids Play-Doh colours. I don't know, it's kind of a weird one, so it's hard for me to make looks out of, but the shadows are lovely apart from that blue, which is so annoying because it's such a gorgeous colour. Okay, so I have this teeny tiny little Huda Beauty Ruby Obsessions palette. I just really like the reds. It worked really nicely. Bit overpriced if you ask me, but the shadows did work really nicely. I did a video on it and I was quite pleased with it, but I haven't really picked it up since. I don't know. I'm gonna have to like go through it. If anybody would like to see me use any of these palettes, please leave it in the comment section below, because I would love to revisit all of these palettes. Well, I'd love to revisit all of them, but let's be real. If there's any that you would like to see looks done with, let me know in the comment section below, because it is really difficult pulling them out and thinking, right, which one would people actually want to see? So, but I mean, this is a nice wee palette. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit pricey. I have the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics. That's this one. And this is another one that is really just good for really neutral looks. I actually think that this is in my kit now too. I've pulled everything out of my kit just now because I want to go through it all and make sure that it's all good and stuff like that, because I don't know when I'm going to be using it again. But it's just a very basic eyeshadow palette if you want to take it with you when you're traveling or you want to just get started. It's a nice little palette. I don't even know if it's still available. Then we have the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. This is probably my most used palette at the minute, this in my melt stack. I love this. It's absolutely beautiful. All the shades in it are really, really easy to work with. So I think that, actually, yeah, I was saying that I need to see their newer ones. This formula here is special. I don't like the old Naked formula, but this is absolutely beautiful and I love it, and I would recommend it to anyone. It's a really nice, easy palette to use, very beginner friendly, very, very forgiving as well. So this is my melt stack. I don't know if this qualifies as a palette, but this is my melt stack. I've seen people use these forever and I've always wanted one, and then eventually it was on sale in Beauty Bay and I got one, and it's absolutely, melt eyeshadows are some of the nicest eyeshadows. That is it there, like that. It's all magnetic. You can obviously stack it up, or you can just like pull them off individually like so. And the very top one that says melt is just a wee mirror. Great for traveling because you can just take like 1 or 2 of the shades that you want. All of the different collections that they do can be interchanged, so you can make your own little stack. It's a brilliant idea, but they're very expensive. I think they're about 40 quid each or something like that, and you're only getting, what, 5 shades. So yeah, it's very expensive. Still very expensive, but thanks Jen for making me buy this, and actually thanks, because it's absolutely amazing and I love it. This is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, and this is what this looks like. This side I just die. I absolutely die for. I love greens. I need to do another green look, and obviously warm browns. Like, what more could I ask for? This is my perfect palette. I love it. It's absolutely a dream to work with and lasts all day, really easy to blend. I'd say quite beginner friendly, but you can really amp it up and really build up the pigment. I need to explore Melt Cosmetics more, I really do. Okay, so next, I told you we were going to race through this. I have the Vault collection. Sorry, wrong way. There we go. So we have Ring the Alarm, which is this one, not my favourite. We have Bling Boss, which is the purple. Again, not really my favourite because I'm not really a purple girl, but when I do like purples, it's quite a nice palette to use. We have Armed and Gorgeous, which is this one. This one's probably my favourite out of them all. Mine, by the way, are fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with mine. I didn't see an issue with the formula or anything. They work just as well as any other Morphe shadow, to be honest. That one's probably my favourite. And then we have a Dark Magic. I like this one as well. So again, works fine. I didn't have any issues with it. I must have just been really lucky. But yeah, if you had issues with it, it's a total nightmare. I totally understand. So this is the Beauty Bay Identity palette, and it's massive. Look at it. It's flipping huge. This is what it looks like. To be honest, it's just a bit much for me. I mean, it's really nice to get like value for money and get a lot of eyeshadow palettes. Get a lot of eyeshadow palettes, get a lot of eyeshadows in your palette. But this to me just looks like 40 shades of the same colour. It's kind of annoying. Great for beginner, great for if you want to get lots of different browns if you're a makeup artist. I generally gravitate towards the same like 4 browns just because like it suits reasonably all skin tones that I deal with. But I don't know, there just wasn't enough difference in colours to get me excited. And I get it, it's like base, transition, crease, liner, pop and highlight. I don't really follow those rules, so it kind of was a wee bit wasted on me, but I like the concept and it was really good value for money. I really like this palette. This is the Morphe, what's it called again? 25L Living Colour palette. I love this thing. These are beautiful shadows. These colours just, I die. I love them. I really like this palette. It works really well. It blends really well, and yes, there's not really much else I can say about it. Probably have done with a few more different colours, but yeah, I really like it. And it was a really good, a lot of the proceeds went to charity and stuff like that, so it was a really nice palette to buy. This is the 3502. I very rarely touch this. Oh, and I've broken a shade. Damn. Okay, so the black is broken in this one. I didn't even realise. It must have been when I tossed it in the drawer. But I do like the colours in here, but again, it's like 50 shades of brown up here. So I don't know, I just don't really reach for it very often. It is a beautiful palette. It's nice to work with. I don't really have any complaints about it. Oh my god, look at me. Well, I'm not going to clean my hands just now because I'm probably going to get more manky. This is ridiculous. This is the 35B palette. I don't know if you can still get this. I think you can. I'm planning on doing a look with this again soon. I don't know what kind of look to do, so if you want to pick a colour theme, let me know in the comment section below. But this is a really nice palette. I can't really fault this. I compared this to the James Charles palette and they worked just as good, if not these ones a little bit better. So this is the 35O, the original bad boy. It is fairly used, not massively used. Again, just a lot of browns, and I do like it, but I like other ones more. I think I actually got this and then used it and used it and used it, and then Jaclyn Hill came out with her first palette, which is next, and I kind of put it down and just never picked it back up again. So this is the original OG Jaclyn Hill palette. This is from the first launch. I bought two, gave one away, and this is still the same one I have. So this is the original formula, the one that is really good. I don't know if I can recommend, I actually meant to do another video on this, but I can include it in this one. I don't know if I can recommend to you and stand by my old review of this palette, because the formula has apparently changed and it's not vegan anymore and it's just not the same formula. So my review on it, although it applies to this palette, it may not apply to the current palette. So I just want you to bear that in mind. I love this palette. It never ever steers me wrong. You can literally boop 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 and away out the door. It is so amazing, so blendable. She wasn't lying when she said that she created an amazing formula. So it really, really is disappointing to know that they've changed it. I don't know why. Why when somebody loves something so much, or why when people love something so much, would you change it? It just seems so stupid to me. I know obviously they might want it to save money and stuff like that, but I don't know, discontinue it. Don't make it worse. Brings me on to the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2. Can you even see that? There we go. So as you can see, this one is really beat up and this one's obviously shiny, so it's a little bit easier to clean. This is what it looks like. I really like this palette. It's a very, very good companion palette to this one. So, hello. You can see the colours sort of like carry on. You've got very, very sort of muted colours over here, and it goes into your nice and vibrant ones over here. So if you've only got a couple of palettes and you only want to have a couple of palettes, it'd be a good couple of palettes to have. How many times can I say that? Okay, so last, and this is just because it's the biggest and it was on the bottom of the pile, is the Morphe James Charles palette. It looks, I've actually just stuck my little thing up here so that I can see what shades they are. That's what it looks like. Obviously, if you haven't been living under a rock, everybody knew what this palette was. It's a nice palette, nice colours, definitely quite tricky to work with. You have to sort of really take your time with it, build it up. I don't think it's as groundbreaking as a lot of people made out, or he made out, but it's a nice palette. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it at all. I think it's so stupid that they came out with a mini. I mean, come on, be at least a little bit creative. I mean, I wouldn't buy it again, but I wouldn't say don't buy it. It is a nice palette. If you want like the colours that are in it, then definitely. It's a good all-round palette as well. It's got a nice array of colours and it's got nice neutrals in it as well. And I like that the neutrals are bigger in the middle, but it seems like that was a thing that Morphe was doing anyway. Okay, I think that might be it. That is my whole eyeshadow palette collection at the moment. I've gotten rid of some in the past and I probably have others hiding somewhere, but they're like teeny wee palettes and not even worth showing. So yeah, that is it. Like I said, if there are any that you'd like me to use in a video to do, like, I probably won't do 5 looks again because it's a bit traumatic. I'll probably do 3 looks one palette, but if there's any of you want me to do 3 looks with, obviously it's a bit pointless doing 3 looks with like a brown palette, but I mean, if you want me to. If there's any you would like to see used, any colours you would like to see used, anything at all, I'm at home. I can do whatever you want me to, within reason. Then just let me know in the comment section below. I think that is pretty much it. So obviously if you enjoyed, I'd love if you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It really does help. Check that notification bell. Look, I've just got black stuff all over me. Okay, I need to go shower now. Hit that notification bell so you're notified of my uploads, and I hope you guys are all staying safe and well, and I will see you in my next video.